Hi, welcome to Living Your Limitless Life. I'm Kayleigh Kennedy, business and mindset coach, mom, and your no BS guide to breaking through the stories holding you back. This podcast is your space to get real, get inspired, and get moving. Each week, I'll share the mindset shifts, strategies, and stories that have helped me and my clients build lives and businesses that feel as good as they look. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, you're in the right place. Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to Living Your Limitless Life. I'm Kayleigh Kennedy, and this is the final episode in our little mini series on beliefs that I'm inviting you to bring into 2026 with you and beyond. But it is also the season finale of this very first season of this podcast. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're already in December. What a season, what a journey this year has been. For me, this has been one of the most transformative years of my life through all of the healing work, through what I've been sharing here on this podcast with you. And I hope that if this year has not been transformative in that way for you too, that at least it's been the catalyst to start your transformation. I wanted to end this season and this mini series with three more beautiful beliefs that support other beliefs that I've shared and that help tie everything together. They will help anchor you into more self-love, self-trust, self-compassion. They'll be the foundation for your next level, whatever that may be, but also for your peace and your alignment and your expansion and the energy that I know you want to walk into 2026 and beyond with. So let's get to them. Belief number 1, what if you could trust yourself above everything else? Do you trust yourself? Self-trust is one of the most beautiful foundations for growth. It is the foundation of your success, your inner peace, your leadership, your intuition, how you make decisions, how you move, your momentum, your ability to hold more. And I mean more clients, more money, more freedom, more joy, more peace, like all of the things that I just listed. When you trust yourself and you build a foundation deeply rooted in self-trust and self-compassion, which I think is another big one that ties directly to self-trust, you create more spaciousness within yourself. When you don't trust yourself, and I know there's so many people out there, so many leaders, people who you might look at and feel like they are fully deeply rooted in owning who they are and trusting themselves. But there are so many people who second guess or overthink, hesitate, shrink, or even outsource your own power. Do you do any of those? And I'm not asking you to shame or to judge. I'm asking you for an objective self-reflection, because awareness is the first step to true change. Are you noticing that your self-trust is an area where you get to improve? That's great. Celebrate that. Because once you have that awareness and you embrace that awareness, then you can really, truly start to move in the direction of that change. When you trust yourself, everything gets easier. Decisions feel cleaner. They happen quicker. Your boundaries feel stronger. You are calmer. Like, how much time and energy do you think you spend in overthinking or second guessing yourself? Your goals also feel more attainable when you trust yourself. You are able to be more deeply rooted in faith and belief. Sometimes it can be hard to trust yourself, especially when you're focusing so much on past experiences or past errors or mistakes. But I invite you to go back a couple beliefs ago in this mini series and re-listen that there are only lessons. There are no failures. There's only lessons. When you couple this belief with that belief, you can more align in that belief of self-trust. Self-trust is what allows you to go inward instead of focusing on everything that's going on outside of you. It's what helps you to rest. It's what helps you know when it's time to pivot, or it's time to let go, or it's time to try something new, or it's time to keep going, or it's time to push. Honestly, it's the recipe to aligned leadership. When you trust yourself, you don't need constant validation, nor do you feel like you constantly need to explain yourself, because you don't need permission. There is no one out there who can tell you if you're doing it right or wrong, because there's so many different ways to do things, and we all work differently. I received an email yesterday after one of my client emails went out, and she responded to me and felt so validated for what the purpose of the email was. And one of the things she said, which really led me to sharing this belief on self-trust, was I keep coming back to knowing that I can trust myself, that it's okay if I take time off, that it's okay that I lean into more pause and less hustle and grind. Because she said, I know I always get it done, but I don't always need to get it done rushed. And that cycle alone for her was a constant source of burnout in the past. But since she's been developing more self-trust, she can take more pause. Everything still gets done, and it actually gets done in a more peaceful, calmer manner. So she needed that validation that it's okay, that I got this. And maybe you do too. Self-trust is just knowing. It's knowing that whatever decision you make, it will either succeed or you'll learn. And being okay with that. It is this complete inner sense of I've got this, or I'm going to figure it out. And that's beautiful. It is such a powerful belief that you can bring into the new year and bring into your life. I think self-trust and self-compassion are two things that are not talked about enough in leadership. And I want to start changing that conversation. So it starts with sharing this belief with you now. Belief number 2. Did you know that you can change your life any moment that you decide to change your life? You're just one decision away. So this belief is that you can change anything in your life anytime. It just starts with making a new decision. We tend to think that transformation has to start on a Monday or January 1st. We've been talking about that in this entire mini series, or the first of the month, or when the kids are out of school, or when things slow down, or when I feel ready. Well, if you keep waiting for the perfect timing or the perfect circumstances to change your life, they're never going to come. It starts with just making a decision. Enough is enough. I need to make a change. I don't want to do this again. I want to feel better. I want to do better. One decision can shift the entire trajectory of your life. That one decision for me was 6.5 years ago when I invested in my first mindset coach. My entire life has changed from that one decision. My profession, how I show up as a mom, how I show up as a leader, how I show up for myself. One moment of clarity or really latching on to one aha moment can reroute your entire future. I did an episode about a month back on how we need to stop just over consuming and actually start to really integrate. So if you actually take aha moments or take awarenesses of self and just really decide to move on it, you'll change your life. You know, one belief that you hold about yourself, shifting one belief that you hold about yourself, any of the beliefs that I've offered to you in this mini series or any other ones that you've come across on your own journey, changing one belief that you hold about yourself can change your entire identity. Oftentimes, your behaviors or your habits are all stemmed from something that is coming from one belief. The most prominent that I've found in the clients that I've worked with over the past 5 years is I am not enough, I am not worthy, or who am I to whatever. And that starting to work on that one belief changes everything. How you show up in your business, in your personal life, your complete identity, how you show up for yourself, which I think is one of the biggest ones. How you make decisions, saying no to things that don't light you up and saying yes to the things that do. Just deciding that you're done with this pattern. You're done with a pattern of self-sabotage. You're noticing where you self-sabotage and just deciding you're done with it. At the time of my recording this episode, I am 3 days away from 1,000 days of no alcohol. Now, I didn't make that decision because I had a drinking problem and I needed to stop. I made that decision almost 1,000 days ago because I knew that alcohol was not aligning with who I wanted to be. And I made that decision and I have never looked back. It was actually one of the easiest decisions I've ever made in my life. I spent 12 years working in the restaurant industry as a bartender, where a lot of my life surrounded alcohol. And making that aligned decision from my future self and just deciding, like, it was March 11th, 2023. It wasn't a Monday. It wasn't January. It was just a random day where I just woke up and was like, you know what? This doesn't serve me anymore and I'm done. It doesn't matter what day it is. It just matters that you make a decision and you honor that decision. You can change your life at any moment, not when it's convenient or when you have everything figured out. Just maybe wake up one day and trust your intuition like I did. I've never looked back. It has been one of the greatest gifts that I've given myself and my family. I'm guessing there's something that you want to shift in your life. What if you just made that decision right now to stop or to start? Real time, right now, not January 1st, not after the holidays are over. Whatever season you're in, whether it's messy or complicated or beautiful or just confusing or whatever, just made that decision and held that own power. When you believe that you can change your life in any instant and you stop waiting for life to align before you move, you start aligning through your movement and you start aligning with the person that you want to become. You are one decision away from changing your life. So just make that decision. What if it could be easy? What if it could feel easeful? Play around with that idea. All right, our very final belief for this mini series. What if you are already becoming the version of you that you want to be? What if that transformation is already happening? What if you weren't behind, you weren't late, you weren't doing it wrong, you're not missing anything? What if you believe that you're already evolving and you're already expanding and you're already shedding old layers and you're developing new awarenesses and you're taking steps every single day? Steps can be small. I find, and I've been there myself, but I find with a lot of the clients that I work with, it is this constant beating ourselves up for not being there yet, not getting there yet. There's nowhere to get to. What happens at the end of the line? It's just all a part of the journey. We forget how much we've grown. We look towards the big milestones instead of the tiny acknowledgments that we can make towards ourselves and our growth every single day. I'll have clients who are taking my programs and say, "Oh, I'm behind." I was like, "No, you're not. You're never behind. You're exactly where you're meant to be." There's a reason that all of my courses that I share and that I sell, you have lifetime access. Because I truly believe that you will come back to the lessons that you need. I ran into an old client this morning and she finished working with me almost a year ago now. And she said something to me and she said, I still go back to the lessons. I'll be in a season where, I need this or I need that. And I know that they're always there in my back pocket. And I thought, how cool is that? To develop that awareness where, you don't have to go through this whole thing, but it's like in different seasons, you're going to need different things. This kind of goes back to belief number 1 of having that self-trust, knowing that you have what you need or that you can access what you need. Like there's nowhere to get to. It's all a part of the journey. Celebrate every single step that you take. Now, I've shared a lot of beliefs with you that I welcome you and I invite you to take into 2026. The likelihood is you're not going to be able to shift them all. When we try to change too many things at once, we overwhelm ourselves and we usually shut down. I recommend to my clients 1 or 2 beliefs at a time. That's it. 1 or 2 beliefs at a time. And you'll know when the belief is shifted because you'll be showing up differently. So any small shift, anything that you feel has been a small shift this year, celebrate it. It's the compound effect, baby. It all adds up. Every moment of awareness at the beginning of every single one of my group client calls, every single one of my calls, I have people share a win or an awareness. And oftentimes those awarenesses, they're the ones that lead to the biggest wins. So we celebrate. We celebrate those awarenesses. Celebrate every boundary that you've set. Every time that you've chosen yourself and you've chosen rest and you've chosen to honor what you need, celebrate every time you've chosen joy. Every time that you've caught a pattern and you've been able to pattern disrupt and shift it. Celebrate every time that you've picked alignment over obligation, where you've said no to things, or you've said yes to things that might have in the past made you uncomfortable. These are all parts of you becoming the version of you that you want to be. These are all parts of the new you, even though there is no new you. It's just realignment. It's just realigning with the true you. Celebrate every time you've reconnected with your truth and not worried about what anyone else thinks. It's because it's what you want and it's what you know to be true in your heart. Your transformation is already happening every single day. We don't actually stay still. We're always growing. We're always evolving. We're always learning. We're always in motion. That next level, even if it feels so far off, it's already begun. There's a quote, I believe it's Esther Hicks, who said, "Once you achieve the goal, you're not going to care how long it took you to get there." So remember that. Embrace the journey, because every day you're moving towards that goal, even if it feels like it's so far, even if it feels like you're at the base of the mountain right now. Every single step, every single climb, every single awareness is moving you in that direction. The key is, don't force it. Just let it. Let the lessons come. Keep going. I want to end season 1 of this Living Your Limitless podcast with these reminders. You are doing better than you think. You're growing faster than you realize. You are far more capable, more powerful, more intuitive, and more limitless than you are giving yourself credit for. This season was just the beginning, the foundation, and the opening chapter for what I continue to wish to share with you. I cannot wait to see who we both become on this journey. But I want us both to remember to be more of ourselves in 2026, our true selves. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up for yourself this year. And thank you for making this first season of my podcast so incredibly meaningful for me. Season 2 will be back in 2026, and it is going to be next level. If you want to continue this momentum as you walk into 2026, I want to remind you that I am hosting a 3-day virtual live self-sabotage detox. It's happening at the end of December, 29th, 30th, and 31st on Zoom. The doors are open and this workshop is filling up, and I'm so excited because this is the work that clears the patterns, that clears the fears, the beliefs, the habits, the old identities that have been keeping you stuck. So you can start the new year with clarity, confidence, and an entirely new mental operating system. We are detoxing the thoughts that drain you, the patterns that sabotage you, the beliefs that limit you, and the behaviors that have been keeping you playing small. So this 3-day experience is your reset, your mental, emotional, and energetic clean slate for 2026. So if you want access, make sure you're following me over on Instagram at the Kayleigh Kennedy. Make sure that you're on my email list. You can visit KayleighKennedy.com. It is all recorded. You will have lifetime access. As I mentioned, I believe in giving lifetime access because I think there is not enough times that you can revisit this information. Revisit it in June. It doesn't need to be an end of the year thing. This is some work that we're doing constantly in my communities. So I cannot wait to help you step into 2026 with a whole new level of self-trust, clarity, and alignment. So until next time and next season, keep on living your limitless life.
Thanks for tuning in to Living Your Limitless Life. If you loved this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. It would mean the world to me. Plus, it helps more people find my show and we can create a bigger impact together. Until next time, keep dreaming big, taking bold action, and remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. See you next time.